Thank you. We commence.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Commissioners, I call Sanna Jarju. He's been connected electronically, and he will give his evidence electronically as well. We are being assisted, I understand, by technical team, including IT. We are grateful to them.
Mr. Jarju?
Yes, sir.
I'm asking if you have a copy of the Quran.
Yes, I have a Quran here inside my house.
It's handy with you now?
Yeah, it's not just far from me, just like 15 is right at the sitting room. Can I grab it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes, it's right here.
Okay, we can begin, sir. You read after me.
Yes, sir.
I swear by the Almighty Allah.
I swear by the Almighty Allah.
That the evidence I shall give to this commission.
That the evidence I shall give to this commission.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me Allah.
So help me Allah.
Thank you. You can wait for further instructions.
Thank you.
Right.
Could you kindly state your names?
My name is Sanna Jarju.
What's your address, Mr. Jarju?
My current address, ma'am?
Yes.
4371 Winters Chapel Road, Atlanta, Georgia.
United States of America.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jarju, did you work in the public service of the government?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
During what period did you work in the public service?
From June 15th, 2009 till February 4th, 2016.
In what capacities?
June 15th, 2009 to July 3rd, 2012, I was protocol officer, Office of the President.
Up to, did you say July 2012?
July 3rd, 2012.
You are a protocol officer?
Yes, at the Office of the President.
Yes. Thereafter?
Then July 4th to July 23rd, I was posted at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as protocol officer.
July 2012 to July?
July 4th.
July 4th, 2012 to?
Yes, to July 23rd, 2012, same year. I was at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as protocol officer.
Okay.
Then from July 24th, 2012, I was posted back at the Office of the President as protocol officer. Then August 2012 to November 29, 2012, I was promoted to Deputy Chief of Protocol, Office of the President.
August 2013 or 2012, you said?
2012, yes,
same
ma'am.
year. Okay, up to when?
Up to November 29, 2012.
You were promoted?
Yes, ma'am.
To what office?
To Deputy Chief of Protocol at the Office of the President.
Thereafter?
Thereafter, November 30th to December 2013, I was promoted to Chief of Protocol, Office of the President.
December 2013, did you say?
November 30th of November 2012 to December 2013.
Chief of Protocol?
Yes, Office of the President.
Okay. Yes, you can continue.
Then I left for a while, but there was no letter given to me to where I am redeployed. I was just reporting to office. Then Moses Jallo was appointed as Chief of Protocol. But at a long run, Moses Jallo was moved, so I was redesignated to Chief of Protocol on October 16th, 2014.
So let me understand. December 2013, when Moses Jallo, you said Moses Jallo took over as Chief of Protocol. What office did you occupy?
I was not given a letter, so I went through PMO. I was just reporting to office. I just did all the handing over to Moses Jallo, but there was no letter handed over to me like you need the Chief of Protocol or you've been redeployed to this portfolio. I was just reporting to office like that, but October 16th, I got another letter that I'm redesignated as Chief of Protocol.
So how did you know Moses Jallo? How did you come to learn that Moses Jallo was Chief of Protocol?
Because he came with the letter, and the day they came to my office with the NIS for me to do the handing over, he shows me the letter and we did the handing over in front of the NIA officers.
Who wrote the letter that he showed you?
He came from PMO.
All right, so October 2014, you were redesignated
Chief of Protocol, Office of the President, when Moses left. Then September 2004 to February 13th, 2000 and what's time? February 13, 2015 to February 4th, 2016, I was Principal Assistant Secretary, Office of the President.
Could you repeat? Can you repeat that? September 2015 to?
No.
Repeat that.
September 2015.
Yes.
Till February 4th, 2016.
Yes.
I was Principal Assistant Secretary, Office of the President.
All right. Could you explain this? Can you explain this? You were Chief of Protocol. Then
yes.
You say in September 2015 you became Principal Assistant Secretary.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you explain?
Yeah, what happened was when whilst I was in duties, I was sick, so I wrote for a medical leave to go for treatment overseas. So during that time, when I wrote, it was approved. So a letter came out to me. I have been redeployed to the admin cadre as principal assistant secretary.
This was before you went for treatment or after you came back?
No, before I went for treatment.
So are you saying between the period September 2015 to February 2016, you are away from your office?
Yes.
You are away?
I was away from the office. When I was appointed as principal assistant secretary, I've never served that portfolio because I was about to leave.
Okay. So what happened thereafter?
Then when I went for treatment, my service got terminated whilst I was on treatment. I received the letter of termination. The letter is dated February 4th, 2016.
The date? February
4th of February 2016, my service was terminated from the Gambia government.
Where were you at the time?
Then I was in Belgium on treatment.
In Belgium?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did the office of the president pay for your treatment?
They didn't. I applied, but they didn't. But after February 4, 2016, whilst I was on treatment, before I'll be done, I received another letter from PMO. I was appointed in absentia as Chief of Protocol. That was July 27, 2016, but I didn't honor the appointment.
Where were you at the time when you were reappointed as Chief of Protocol?
When I was reappointed Chief of Protocol, then I was in the United States here.
Why didn't you take up the appointment? Is there any reason?
Yes, there is a lot of reason, ma'am. With due respect, there is a lot of reason why I did not took up the appointment.
Yes, can you share those reasons with the Commission?
Yes, I will. The number one reason is, first of all, is like when I was in Gambia, when I was about to leave for the treatment, I was finding it very difficult to have my medical leave been approved by His Excellency, the former President Yahya Jammeh. So it was a pull and push to an extent. I started receiving some threats. I've been forced to go to work even at the condition whereby I'm not feeling fine. So when I left, when I'm about to go for the treatment at Belgium also, things were not okay with me. So I could remember I was advised by the then Honorable Minister of Health, Omar Sy, that the civil service, we have some funds set aside for the civil servant who needed urgent care if they are not feeling fine, for the government to pay for their medical bills and all. But I have to apply, and the head of my department have to endorse. So I talked to the then Secretary General, Momodu Sabali, and then former Secretary to Cabinet, Noah Toure. They said, yes, I can put it into writing, but I did that. When the file got to His Excellency, the President, he turned the file down. He disapproved it.
All right. Before you joined the public service, which is in 2009, you said June 15, 2009.
Yes, ma'am.
What work did you do? What work
I was going to school. I was not working, I was going to school.
Sorry, they're losing him a little. What work did you do?
I was not working during that period. I was going to school.
You were going to school?
Yes, at MDI.
Okay, which school? In Gambia or elsewhere?
In Gambia, yes, ma'am.
All right. Which school?
I was at MDI during that period. I was doing management studies. I started from certificate to advanced diploma.
Did you work in any institution before that?
No, I didn't work in any institution before that. I was going to school. Okay. Then from school, started
From
work.
school to MDI, and MDI, then you were appointed as protocol officer in June
Yes.
2009.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. When you were protocol officer at the office of the president in 2009, did you work with the ex-president?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
You were protocol officer. Did you have who were you reporting to?
When I was working at June 2009, I was protocol officer. I was reporting directly to my chief of protocol then, Mr. Alaji Sise.
What were your responsibilities in relation to the president?
My responsibility as a protocol officer?
Did you have any specific responsibilities in relation to the president, ex-president?
No, sir. Purely professional and official.
Did you work with the ex-president during that period?
No, I didn't work with him directly. I was taking instruction from my immediate boss, the chief of protocol, who will assign me with some assignments.
Now, you became deputy chief of protocol, you said, in 2012, August 2012.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you work with the ex-president when you were deputy chief of protocol?
Yes, when I was deputy chief of protocol, still instructions were coming to me through my chief of protocol.
Who was your chief of protocol during that period?
When I was deputy chief of protocol, then there was at a time it was Alaji Sise, who was my Alaji Sise was my boss.
You were deputy to Alaji Sise as well.
Yes, I was deputy to Alaji Sise as well.
So in November 2012, when you became chief of protocol.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened to Mr. Sise? Do you know?
Then Mr. Sise was, I think his services was terminated. Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain what your responsibilities are in 2012 as deputy chief of protocol? In relation to the president.
In 2012, as deputy chief of protocol, there was no term of reference handed over to me upon my appointments as the deputy chief of protocol. Basically, what I do, I take instruction from my immediate boss, that is the chief of protocol, who will assign me with some duties.
Okay. Did you work directly with the president?
When I was deputy chief of protocol, I did not work directly with the president. I'm getting my instructions from the chief of protocol, who will assign me to do certain jobs.
As you know, you have been contacted and we've asked you many questions regarding transactions, financial transactions with the ex-president.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you first become involved in financial transaction with ex-president?
When I became chief of protocol.
When you became?
Chief of protocol.
We have a transaction in 2012, that is at least the first that we have, with regard to a disbursement from the national security accounts.
Yes, ma'am.
Dated 19th November 2012. According to your evidence just now, at the time you were deputy chief of protocol, you have looked at that transaction from the
it's from where? The national?
19th November 2012. It was relatively a small amount of $475,800, which you received. Dr. Njoguba was Secretary General, and the ex-president himself signed with Dr. Njoguba as signatories to the account. This is the National Security Projects account with Trust Bank Limited.
Yes, I got the document dated 19 November 2012.
Yes,
the
how
amount
did you
is
become involved
yes.
in financial? This appears, at least from the records we have seen, to be the first transaction. How did you become involved in this transaction?
Yes, this transaction, most of the times when we come into office in the morning, either the the Secretary General will call my immediate boss, then the Chief of Protocol, that he should give him somebody like one of his junior staff to go for a transaction. So in this case, I will go and answer to the then former Secretary General, that is Njoguba. Then I was handed over with this document. I went to Trust Bank to receive these funds.
You are saying you received instructions through Chief of Protocol. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the Chief of Protocol will give me verbal instruction that SG wants to see you. Then I will go into SG's office. That's the time the Secretary General will hand over this document for me and tell me that there's a transaction we want you to go and do at the Trust Bank.
What did you know about the National Security Projects account?
Can you come again, ma? Sorry.
What did you know about this account?
Basically, I didn't know anything about this account. I just came into contact of this account because I saw the name on the authority itself.
All right. Then in July 2013, we have another transaction. You said you left in November 2012 and came back in November 2013. But we have a transaction.
What?
Can you confirm those dates? That you said you went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or you were posted to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs?
Yes.
And you came back to office in 2012. No, that was before. You came back to the office in August 2012, and you started as Chief of Protocol. Yes, in 2013. That's fine. There's a transaction. There are transactions from the MRI Presidential Project account. Two transactions, one of 3 million and the other of 2 million. We have sent you those transactions. What do you have to say about them?
Yes, the MRI transaction account that is dated 3rd August 2015, $2 million is?
Yes, and there is a transaction of 3 million on 23rd July 2013, and another one of 2 million on the 3rd of August 2015.
Yes, I have that one. I have them right here with me.
These were authorized, the first one by Momodu Sabale and Nuha Ture, and the second one by Aissatou Oba and Ismail Asanya.
Ismail Asanya. Yes, ma'am.
In both transactions, the authority said you were to receive the money. What can you tell us about these ones?
Yes, this authority, I could vividly remember on that fateful day in the morning when we came to the office, His Excellency the President asked me, he gave me a verbal directive to call either the Secretary General or the Secretary to Cabinet to ask them the balance they have in the MRI presidential account. That was my first time, I think, hearing about that.
Can you hold on? Could you do something about the volume? I think it might be too high. Okay. All right, let's try again. You said the President asked you to do what?
Yeah, upon arrival in the morning when we came to office, His Excellency, the former President Janneh, asked me to liaise with SG or Secretary to Cabinet to ask them how much the balance they have in the MRI presidential account. So I went to the SG's office. I think SG contacted the Trust Bank. Later on, there was a balance. The SG told me this is the balance, but I could not recall the exact amount. So he gave me the instructions to tell them that to prepare an amount of $3 million for me to receive it at Trust Bank. So which I conveyed to both SG and Secretary to Cabinet. Then the authority was prepared and handed over to me. I went to the Trust Bank to receive the funds.
Okay. What was the MRI account about?
Basically, I have no idea what was this MRI account is all about, because I came to know about this MRI account from him, the president, and seeing it at the authority itself, but I didn't know the basics behind the account itself.
The instructions he gave you, were they verbal or written?
Yes, ma'am. Can you come again, ma'am?
Were the instructions verbal or written?
When he was giving me the instructions to liaise with the Secretary General and Secretary to Cabinet, it was verbal. But when the instruction was given, when I was going to the bank, an authority was given to me, signed by then former Secretary General and Secretary to Cabinet, Nuature.
At this time, you were Chief of Protocol, according to your evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
When he said, could you check the balance in the MRI account, surely he would have given some indication as to what this MRI account was all about. It seems to me
no.
No?
He has never given me any indication about what was this MRI account about. He just gave me an instruction, kindly find out from SG and Secretary to Cabinet the balance we have from our MRI account,
so
and instruction we are given.
3 million and 2 million. What happened to the funds?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened
Can
to
you
the
come
money?
again?
What did you receive the cash from the bank?
Yes, I did receive the cash, because upon arrival at the Trust Bank, I met one Miss Fatuba. I think they directed me to her. She was, I think, director of banking at Trust Bank. So I waited for the funds. When they paid me, we confirmed the 3 million there. Then from there, I went with an escort, security escort. I went back to the State House, informed the Secretary General Sabale and Nuwa that I'm around. They said, yeah, the fund is for boss. Then I took the cash into boss, the former president's office, and delivered it hand to hand.
So these monies were delivered to who?
To the president himself.
Was anyone present?
Yes, most of the time when I'm delivering the money to him, someone is present. The orderlies, the close protection to him, the securities, because they have a book whereby whatever money that comes in, they have to record. They will sign and I will sign too.
So you're saying something about most of the time the orderlies were present. Since we have
Yes.
numerous transactions really, let's just finish and then we'll ask you some questions. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
From the MRI, we will move on to the Special Project Fund account, Vision 2016 at the Central Bank. Mr. Jarju, we have about 28 transactions from the Special Project Fund account, Vision 2016, totaling about $20 million.
Yes, ma'am.
We have sent you all the transactions. You have received them.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, all these are cash withdrawals?
Yes, they are both cash withdrawals, ma'am.
All right. Just for the record, I will just take you through them quickly. And
Yes, ma'am.
you will tell us what you know about them. The first
Yes,
one
ma'am.
is withdrawal of $1 million on 13 August 2014, which is said is to have been received by yourself, which is signed for Sanna Jarju, Chief of Protocol. That's you?
Yes, it is me.
Okay. Can you tell us about this?
Yes, this transaction happens is the same instruction. I came in the morning when we come to office. His Excellency the President directed me to the secretary, his personal secretary. We call her, I think, personal assistant to the President.
Personal assistant to the President. What was
to the
her?
President. That's she is our personal secretary. She takes care of most of this typing stuff. She does it. She's a lady.
What was her name?
We have two of them. One was Mrs. Anna Wilson, and the second one is Mrs. Harris.
Mrs. Harris. Yes,
I forgot the first name, but we call her Mrs. Harris.
Now, you're talking specifically about this transaction of $1 million. Can you hold on? You've asked me to move closer to the mic. Mr. Chairman, you don't have a problem? It's okay? All right. Yes, you're telling us about this $1 million transaction, the withdrawal of $1 million. You said the President referred you to?
Yeah, when the Secretary prepared this authority, the secretaries will prepare it. Most of the time they type all this. So when they finish typing it, they have to put it in a folder and give it back to me. I will take it to His Excellency, the former President himself. He will sign, then put it in an envelope. Then he will ask me to take it to the central bank and liaise with the governor.
So you are saying you got these instructions through his personal secretary?
No, she gave the instructions. She would write the instruction in handwritten, hand me over the paper. I will take it to the secretary, the confidential secretary. She will type, put it in the folder. I took it back to His Excellency, the President. She will go through it, everything is fine. She will append his signature, then ask me to take the authority to central bank and go straight to the governor's office for the withdrawals of the fund.
You went straight to the governor, you said?
To the governor's office at the Central Bank of the Gambia.
Okay. So at the time, who was the governor?
At this time, I think Amadou Koli. Amadou Koli.
So for all these transactions that you did, it was the governor, Amadou Koli?
Yes, it was the governor, Amadou Koli. In instances whereby the governor is not in town because the line is roaming, so when he needs money, if I call the governor, if he is not in town, he will direct me either to the first deputy governor, Basiru Njai, or the second deputy governor, one Mrs. Umisamba.
All right, let's go through the transactions. If there is anything different about any transaction from what you've just said, please let us know. So the first one was $1 million. So what happened to the $1 million? Did you receive it?
Yes, I did receive it, ma'am.
So what happened to it?
Yeah, this one, I could remember this 1 million, the transaction is all in 100 bill notes. They are packed and I think taped with rubber band in 100,000s. Then I will confirm it and have it packed in a small bag. Then I will be escorted back to the State House and deliver it to His Excellency, the President.
Is that directly to him?
Yes, directly. Most of the cash I gave to him is directly from me and him, and with the presence of the securities. Because when upon arrival with the cash, so it depends on the location he is.
I can't hear what you just said. Who would be there? Did you say
the odd list and the close protection officers?
Who were the oddlists at this time?
At this time, we have one Lieutenant Yusufa Sanyang, one Lieutenant Yankuba.
Repeat the name.
One Lieutenant Yusufa Sanyang.
Lieutenant Yusufa Sanyang.
Yes, there are a couple of them. You have Lieutenant Yankuba Sanyang. Sorry, Yusufa Sane, Yankuba Sanyang.
Yankuba Sanyang.
Yes, you have Captain Aliu Sanyang.
Captain Aliu Sanyang.
Yes, you have Lieutenant Lamin Koli.
Lieutenant Lamin Koli.
Koli, I could recall you have one Sergeant, what's the name again? Sergeant Aliu Conte.
Sergeant Aliu Conte.
Sergeant Aliu Conte, you have another Sergeant, what's this Sergeant name? There is another person with the security, Lamin Sise.
What's his rank?
I think he was Sergeant 2.
Sergeant Lamin Sise.
Is it Lamin Sise? I have to confirm the... So it's Lamin Sanyang.
Lamin Sanyang, not Sise.
Yes. Lamin Sanyang. Lamin Sanyang.
Not Lamin Sise.
Not Lamin Sise. Lamin Sanyang. Most of them, I think they are still with the Gambia Army.
Do you know the whereabouts of these oddlists?
According to the last information I have, I think Lieutenant Yusufa is in the United States here. I have no idea about his whereabouts. But I think Captain Aliu Sanyang and Lieutenant Yankuba Sanyang, Lamin Sanyang and Lieutenant Lamin Koli, they are both in Gambia. They are still serving the Gambia Army.
They are still in the army?
Yes, I think according to the last info I got, Lieutenant Lamin Koli is in Farafenye. Okay. And Sergeant Aliu Conte is in Darfur currently. Is in Darfur.
Darfur. Okay.
Yes, but Aliu and Lieutenant Yankuba Sanyang, they are still serving the military, but to be quite honest, I didn't know their exact post of duty as of now, but they are still with the Gambia Army.
Right. What role did these oddlists play? What role? What was their role in relation
the role they play most of the time when I arrive, they will announce me to His Excellency the former president that the chief of protocol is back from the errand you sent him. So he will ask them personally to confirm the cars with me first. They will have a choir book where they will record the amount I came with upon confirmation. They will sign themselves. They have a book. I will sign. Then they will escort me to wherever His Excellency is at that present time. Then I will have the cars handed over to him by their presence.
Did the personal assistants play any part in this process?
No, the only part the personal assistant play is just the typing, and which the handwritten is done by the president himself. The personal assistant, is only the typing aspect.
All right. Next transaction is dated 21st July 2014 for $600,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you receive it?
Yes, I did.
Now, if there is anything different from what you have just said, please let us know. In respect of the first one, are we to take it that the same evidence you have given applies to the second transaction?
Yes, but because most of these transactions I followed the same procedures. It's both the same procedures has been followed.
The third transaction is $1.5 million.
Yes, ma'am.
$500,000. That's a sum of $2 million taken in two tranches of $1.5 million and $500,000.
Yes, ma'am.
You received this sum from
I did, sir, ma'am.
And you're saying you handed it over to the president?
I handed it over to him, and most of the time it's through the help of the orderlies. They help me lift the bags because the office is upstairs and the residence, so they will lift the bags. We confirm in the same procedure and have the cash handed over to him. Most of the time, when I give this money, he has to go through it to confirm again. If they didn't confirm this amount, I don't leave the State House.
Why bags? What bags are you talking about?
The money is packed mostly in this big traveling suitcase, traveling bags.
Dollars?
Yes, but the physical, the dollars, the dollars, because at times is not that much big. You can have it in a sizable bag, like 1 million can fit in a how to call it, a hand luggage, a sizable hand luggage. I mean, when you're traveling in a flight, this hand luggage you can carry on.
Okay. So where did you, because some of these amounts are quite significant in dollars, how did you receive them at the central bank?
Yes,
And
upon
where?
arrival at the central bank, I will go to the governor's office. Then his secretary will announce me. Then I will go in, hand over the authority to governor. Then the governor will go through it. They will do the transaction. Immediately after their paperwork, I'll be sitting waiting. I will be asked to see one Mr. Kor or Koita, I'm not sure, at the vault. Most of the time, that's where I receive the funds. But there is a lady also who assists this Mr. Kor or Koita. I'm not sure, but I could know. The name is one Njoba, Mrs. Njoba. I cannot, I didn't know the surname, but most of the time I confirm the money through these people.
Where would you receive it in the bank?
Yes, ma'am. Can you come again, ma'am?
Where would you receive these sums of money, these large sums of money? Where in the bank would you receive these large sums of money?
I will receive it at the central bank. I will receive it at the central bank itself. There is an office downstairs. I think it's around the cash vault.
All right. The fourth transaction, 21st October, $496,000 for 840.
21st October 2014.
October.
Yes, ma'am.
You received it?
I did.
And the same evidence applies?
The same evidence. Most of this money is both. If 3 of these securities officers I mentioned are not present, 2 of them will be present, maximum.
28 October 2014, $200,000.
Yes, I did receive it too. That's my signature.
Sorry, Council. I think let's break the pattern. Mr. Jarju.
Yes.
Based on your training and understanding as a chief of protocol.
Yes.
Were you supposed to go take money from the central bank and hand it over to the president? Was that part of your training?
That was not part of my training. As I said, when I was appointed as chief of protocol, there was no time of reference handed over to me. But when I was taking over from the former boss who handed over to me, I was briefed that the duties are I will be protocoling the president. I will manage his diary, his meetings and travel arrangement. At times, he could send me on errands.
It's not the sending we're worried about. It's what you do in the sending. Was it part of your job to collect money from the central bank, cash, and hand it over to him? Did you think that was appropriate as part of a protocol officer's job?
I think, to be quite honest, on my honest answer, it is not appropriate. But looking at the prevailing circumstance surrounding the whole situation by then, the former president, he had not sent me, and I said no. I definitely will know there will be consequences following it. But it's not a normal practice.
Okay. Now, have you received any form of training outside Gambia to advance you in your job?
What?
Did you benefit from overseas training in another country where you work alongside a chief of protocol to better understand what a protocol officer does for the president?
No, I've never received any outside training. Whatever thing I know from the job, I learned it through the
So
job.
all
I've
your
never
learning
received
happened at
anything.
the OP, and you were put through by previous chiefs of protocol. And
Yes,
they did a similar service. Did they do a similar service for the ex-president?
Yes, I think so, because that was what I was briefed when they were handing over to me.
So, and you believe that in other countries, this exercise also happened?
I wouldn't say that because I didn't know.
You didn't know. Did you find out? Did you do any research to understand if this is good practice or not? Or was it?
I didn't.
Was it only okay to give money to the ex-president and not worry about why?
It's not like I'm not worried, or it's just okay to collect money and just have it handed over to the president. No. Upon what I was briefed, I can run errands for him. So when I come, he gives me instruction. It's like he's giving me direct instruction to work on them. So if he sent me to go to the central bank to go and collect the money, even though I know the practice is not acceptable, it's not normal, but according to what I say, in terms of the prevailing circumstance at that time, I could not say no.
So you couldn't say no, but you didn't believe what you were doing was appropriate.
I believe that what I was doing is not appropriate.
But you just couldn't say no because you
Yes,
were afraid to lose your job.
Not only to losing the job, but there are threats also.
What risks?
There are risks of you being arrested, or there are risks of you being incommunicado with your people, because I've been chief of protocol to him, so I've know what I've been through.
Do you honestly believe that
Yes,
it was
sir.
beyond? Do you honestly believe that it was beyond the governor of the central bank and the ex-president to have an arrangement to exclude you as a chief of protocol? Were you really needed in that process? You could have easily been taken out of the process and money will still reach the ex-president.
Yes, that I believe that could also happen, but the reason why I am involved, that depends to His Excellency the former president himself, because
And
I
to
didn't
you,
know
and
why.
to you as a chief of protocol, you should have
Yes.
asked why you are involved. There are adequate resources at the office of the president and adequate resources at the central bank to ensure money reaches the president from the governor without your involvement. Why do you think you are being used?
I believe because I'm his chief of protocol, so he could send me on errands. That's why.
Is it the chief of protocol's job, one more time, to ask you, was it your job to carry cash to the president?
Honorable Council, I did say that. I said it's not part of my job as chief of protocol to be carrying cars, but it is part of my job to be running errands for the president.
Only in the Gambia. Did you check whether the same thing happened in Senegal, Ghana, Nigeria, or the neighboring
No,
countries?
I didn't check that, to be quite honest.
You didn't think it was important to understand what was really expected of a chief of protocol? Or was
Yeah,
it just to praise the president?
it is important, but at that particular time, that did not come my way. It didn't come to my mind.
It didn't occur to you that you were doing anything wrong?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Jarju,
Yes, ma'am.
of the about 30 transactions from this special security account where cash withdrawal,
Yes.
you were authorized to receive cash by the
Yes.
ex-president, which you have gone through.
Yes.
There is a transaction which refers to some doctors.
Yes.
Can you tell us anything about these doctors who happen to be from Syria, according to
Yes.
the documents that we have? Can you tell us
Yes.
about that transaction? Yes.
Those are Syrian doctors. They were at RVTH. According to what I know, in every end of the month, they do send in their list, a payroll list with their names against every doctor what he or she receives at the end of the month. And most of the time, the head of the Syrian doctor, Dr. Mamar, I forgot the surname, he will come to State House, hand over the payroll, that document itself to me. Then I will have it handed over to His Excellency the President. Then he will give cash. At times he will send some of the security officers to go and pay them, and they will sign against their name, and the paper is brought back to him. But at this instance, I think during those periods, he didn't have cash with hand, so there was an instruction, written instruction, given that I should liaise with Governor Central Bank for them to pay the Syrian doctors.
We have just two transactions, one for $5,821 and one for $54,600 that has attached to it a list of Syrian doctors. Was it what the authority to withdraw, at least the voucher from Central Bank indicates that it was you who received these monies?
Yes.
Was it you who paid over this money to the Syrian doctors as well?
What happened in most of the occasion, when I receive the money, I will take it to His Excellency. Then he will ask, once, I think 2 security officers were involved. One was, I think, Colonel Modlamin Mendy and one Lieutenant Adama Janneh. Most of the time they go for payment to the Syrian doctors.
Now I'm referring to only 2 transactions. Of the 30 transactions that you've gone through, only 2 have attached to them a list of Syrian doctors. My question is, did you have anything? Did you make the payments to the Syrian doctors?
No, most of the time is only the transaction I will handle. I will go and be receiving the cash. I will receive the cash from the central bank and brought it back. Then His Excellency, the former president, will give further instruction upon who is going to pay the Syrian doctors. And most of the time is this Modlamin Mendy and Adama Janneh.
Now, when you say most of the time, it suggests that there were exceptions. Did you at any time pay the Syrian doctors monies?
No, this is the only 2 transactions I could remember. The first one was between Modlamin and Adama Janneh. Then the second one was, I think Adama Janneh went. They were asked to go and wait for them because they were lodged at AU Villa around Brufut. Then they were waiting for me. I drove there and gave them the cash for them to pay them.
What did the president do with this cash, about 20 million that you handed over to him, 20 million US dollars over a period of about 1 year?
Basically, I would not say I know 100% what he used them, but I may have at least 50% idea of some of where these funds, how he spent them.
Okay, tell us the 50% that you know.
Yes, because most of the time, at times, most of this money, we will be on tour, like presidential nationwide tour. Then he will send me to go and receive the money. Upon arrival at the meeting grounds itself, you will see it's all over on GRTS. The president will be giving schools, all the schools that participated in welcoming him, at times 1 million, some 1.5, some the least 500 for them to organize party for the kids. At times we will be at the meeting grounds. He will see some of the school children, and most of them will wear torn uniforms with barefooted with no shoes. He will ask the director of education around that region and the minister of education. Then he will give them a huge some amount of money also for them to buy them uniforms and shoes. There are instances whereby also I will come with the cars the same day when there are program at Kanilai at the festival arena. We call it festival arena. It's a place, it's like a park, whereby we'll be celebrating either the breakthrough of his treatment or there are some celebration of July 20, and musicians will be invited all over. some from Senegal, some from Gambia. So you will see him spending from the same bag you brought. He won't tell you that you are bringing this money for that purpose, but for seeing as chief of you will see the bag, and this is the same bag you brought to him, and the same cash is being given to those people.
Could you give us specific examples of people to whom he has given significant amount of money, let's say in dollars, because these monies were partly received in dollars, but also in dollars, and $20 million is a lot of money.
The one I'm referring to like this is most of them are in dollars. The one in dollars, most of them, where he will spend is like, because a day at times when the first lady is about to travel, and he will ask me to ask for a operational flight budget from GIA. Then when I call the managing director of GRA, they will prepare a operational flight budget. Most of the time is in dollars. So when they brought it upon arrival, I will take the document, submit it to His Excellency. He will go through it. Then he will give me the money. I will hand it over to the Director General of GRA. Most of the time, his finance director, one Mr. Sala, Ibrahim Sala, will come for the money, and they will prepare the flight to uplift the First Lady and the delegation to their destination. And at times, when the First Lady also is in the United States, because most of the time they communicate. When I come in the morning, he will tell me, I spoke to the First Lady yesterday night. I want you to transfer this money to her personal account, which I will do through Guarantee Trust Bank and at times Trust Bank Gambia Limited itself.
Do you have details of her personal accounts?
Yes, I think I even have a copy of some of the transfer I did to her personal account, and some of the transfer the president authorized and gave me the money to send through the instruction of the First Lady. I still have it. I can have it forwarded to Olimatu's inbox.
Did you say you gave the transfers?
No, I mean I can have it forwarded. I have it in my email. I will forward it to Senior State Counsel Olimatu Danso's email.
Very well. We'd appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have access to them now? Those transactions?
They are in my, I have a copy of them here with me.
Yes.
These are all those transactions, but I have the soft copy in my email.
How many transactions are you holding with you there?
I have to go through it. I think this is one.
Yes, we have time. Just count them and tell us how many.
5, 6. Is about 22.
22 transactions.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you just take us through quickly the dates, the amount, and where it went, and through which bank?
Okay. Yeah, the first one went to New York. The beneficiary customer name is Endeavor Global Acquisition Group.
Okay.
The amount is $189,933 United States dollars.
Which bank account?
It went to, the beneficiary is Endeavor Global Acquisition.
Which account? Which bank?
The bank.
Which bank in New York?
HSBC Bank, United States of America.
Was this done over the counter? You took cash to the bank?
Yeah, I took cash to the bank and made the transfer.
Which bank?
This particular one is a trust bank, Banjul.
What is the date?
The date is the date is 09/13.
Okay. 12 September 2013. The next
Yes.
one, the second one?
The second one is a transfer to New York. The customer beneficiary customer name is the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, New York.
Ritz-Carlton.
Yes. The amount involved is $168,490 United States dollars.
Okay. From which bank?
Then the bank is Bank of America.
Bank?
Bank of America.
What was the purpose of the transaction? Why were you paying Ritz-Carlton?
I think the first lady and the delegation were supposed to lodge at that hotel during their that trip.
Right. Date and
The
local
date
bank?
is 12/09/2013.
From which bank? Gambian bank.
The Gambia bank is same Trust Bank.
The third transaction?
The third transaction is the third transaction also is the beneficiary name is Endeavor Global Acquisition Group.
Who are these people?
I think these people, they operated a special flight.
See.
We chartered the flight from them.
How much was it this time?
This time is 152,000 United States dollar. The date is 11th May 2015.
From which bank?
The bank is Guarantee Trust Bank, GTB.
Fourth? Take us through fourth.
The fourth one is to her own personal account.
Okay.
Zainab, the beneficial customer name Zainab Janneh.
Okay.
The amount involved is 31,000 United States dollars. Date 30th of March 2015. And the sending bank is Guarantee Trust Bank.
Fifth?
The fifth one is to Casablanca. Beneficiary's name is Societe Generale Moroccan Banques.
That's the bank?
The bank is, that's the bank, I think. The beneficiary name is Lalla Mariam Al-Idrisi.
Al-Idrisi.
Yes, the amount is 121,000 United States dollars. The date is 27th of March 2015.
Who is Lala Mariam Al-Idrisi?
Lalla Mariam Al-Idris is a personal assistant to the First Lady herself.
Have you ever met her?
I think twice in several occasions. We met just briefly because she is based in Morocco, but she comes most of the times when we have events at the State House.
Where did you meet her?
I met her at the State House. When she, at the State House, Banjul.
What was the purpose of the transfer to her?
This one, actually, I cannot tell the purpose of this transfer. I was just given instructions to go to the bank and make this transfer to these details.
Who gave you the instructions?
Most of the time, all this transaction will happen when the First Lady herself is in the United States. She is not in the country. She will talk to the husband, that is the former President Janneh, When I come in the mornings, he will give me the instruction and tell me that the protocol is, the first lady is going to send you some banking details. Then you go and pay this money. So when I go through my inbox, I will see the details. At times, the details will be sent personally by her through her email, Zainab Janneh. At times through the protocol with her.
All right, thank you. 6th transaction.
The 6th transaction is to, let me see. The 6th transaction is to purchase Vision, I think, yes, I think it was sent to beneficiary's name. The 6th transaction is to, I think, TK Export LLC in Dubai.
Yeah. Date and amount?
Yeah, but I think TK, the instructions was given, I think they are buying some farming equipment on behalf of the president for, I think, purchase of, the remittance information say purchase of Vision 2016 farm equipment.
How much was the amount?
The amount is $3,642,000 United States dollars.
3 million?
Yes, $3,642,000 United States dollars.
What is the date?
The date is, let me see, 26th June 2015.
Which bank?
The sending bank is Guarantee Trust Bank.
Are you saying you took $3 million, this amount, to the bank, and it was transferred?
No, this one I didn't take 3 million. It was, I think, a bank transfer through ordering customer name is Mobicel Blue Ozone. Yeah, but I went with the gentleman to the bank when the transfer was.
What is the name of the gentleman?
I think one Balajase.
Okay. Did he tell you, you said the purpose was to buy agricultural equipment?
Vision 2016 farming equipment.
Who did you deal with at the bank?
At Guarantee Trust Bank?
Yes.
This particular transaction I did with the managing director, Bolaji. But most of the transfers I will be directed to one Malik Mboob.
Malik?
Malik Mboob.
Mboob? M-B-O-O-B?
Yes. M-B-O-O-B, yes, Mboob.
Is it at Kairaba office?
Yeah, most of the transaction I did it at Banjul opposite the Makati Square. That's where Malik is stationed. But this particular transaction for the 3,642,000 was done at Kairaba. I could vividly remember it.
In Kairaba?
Yes.
Thank you. 7th transaction.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Destination Bank in Dubai. Please. We know the remitting bank. What's the destination bank for TK Export?
I think it's Masrek Bank, M-A-S-H-R-E-Q-B-A-N-K, P-S-C.
Please spell it again.
M-A-S-H-R-E-Q-B-A-N-K, then P-S-C.
What is the address in Dubai? Is it stated?
I'm sorry, ma'am, the address is not stated here.
Right, and the number? Could you tell us the account number?
The account number, beneficiary account number. I'm not sure whether this is the account number, but I'm seeing something AE. They said account with institution AE 833-000-191-000-45112. But I'm not sure whether that's the account number.
Thank you. 8 transactions.
This one is to, let me see. Beneficiary's name is Dialogue Concept Inc.
Can you repeat?
Dialogue, D-I-A-L-O-G, Concept,
Dialogue.
C-O, yes, Dialogue Concepts.
Dialogue.
Dialogue Concepts.
Concepts. Okay.
Yes, C-O-N-C-E-P-T-S.
Where
Is in New York, Bank of America.
Okay. Amount?
20,805 United States dollars. The date is 7th October 2015.
This is a cash transaction over the counter?
Yes, this is the
bank?
cash transaction.
Which bank?
Guarantee Trust Bank.
Do you know who they are, this Dialogue Concept?
No, I have no idea. I was just given the information to go and wire the money. Upon arrival, most of the time, they will give me the FX, how do they call it again? The FX, something, I forgot the name. It's like a form of a receipt to indicate that the transfer has been successful. So I will hand over the original document to His Excellency. But most of the time, if I am free, I am not tied with the security attached they sent me, I can quickly take the opportunity and scan it and have it sent to my email. That's why I have been able to get some of these documents on my email.
All right. The 8th transaction.
The 8th transaction is to this Global Endeavor Association, New York.
Yes.
The same company with the state, this time is 158,301 United States dollars. It's 30th of July 2015.
It's cash. From which bank?
Yes, it's cash at this one. The transfer is done at Guarantee Trust Bank, dated 30th July 2015.
Thank you. 9th?
The 9th one is to send us, let me see. Yeah, the third one is to our embassy of the Gambia. Let me see, embassy of the Gambia. But the country is not stated, but is at the embassy of the Gambia. The remittance information is purchase of Vision 2016 farm materials. The amount involved is 100,000 United States dollars. The bank is Citibank, 1901 Wisconsin Avenue. I believe is in the Washington, D.C.
Was a cash? Cash?
This one is, yeah, it was cash.
Which bank?
The bank is Guarantee Trust Bank.
10th transaction.
The 10th is to is at Casablanca. Beneficiary customer's name is Palace Namaskar.
Can you spell it out?
P-A-L-A-I-S, then N-A-M-A-S-K-A-R.
Okay, that's the beneficiary.
That's the beneficiary, but I think it's in Casablanca.
Okay.
Then the amount is 5,000 United States dollars. The date is 16th July 2015.
From which bank?
The bank is GTB, Guarantee Trust Bank.
11th transaction.
The 11th transaction is beneficiary name Embassy of the Gambia.
Date and amount?
Date 4th June 2015, amount 100,000 United States dollars. The purpose is not stated. Oh, the purpose is stated, sorry, is for the same Vision 2016 farm materials. Yeah, I could vividly remember they were chainsaws. Chainsaws, the ones they use in bringing down big trees.
Chainsaws?
Yes.
How do you know they were chainsaws?
Yeah, because a quotation was sent to me through the then ambassador, what's the name again? Omar Faye.
Omar?
Omar Faye, the then ambassador.
But the
That's
money
how I know.
The money is cash again, paid over the cash?
Yes, the money is cash again.
Which
I
bank?
handled it.
Which bank? Which Gambian bank?
Guarantee Trust Bank.
Okay. 12 transaction.
The 12th transaction. Beneficiary is the Embassy of the Gambia in New Delhi, I think India.
Okay. Date and amount?
The date is 9th February 2015. The amount is 50,000 United States dollars.
Purpose?
This one, the purpose is not stated here. But I could remember he was telling me you should send this to our embassy in New Delhi. They are going to buy some crops for me.
Crops?
Crops, yes. It's still on my mind.
Crops, C-R-O-P-S?
Yes, CROPS, crops for the, I think, his Vision 2016 farms.
How can you buy crops from India? Are they seeds or what?
They are seeds. Sorry, I mean crops. Seed. They are seeds. He needed the seeds.
Which bank? It's a cash transaction.
This is a cash transaction. The bank, sender bank is Guarantee Trust Bank.
Okay, 13th transaction.
The 13th transaction is to Zainab Jammeh's personal account.
Okay, which country?
United, the beneficiary, this one is Portland, MEUSA. Then the amount is 40,000 United States dollars. The date is 9th February 2015.
From which
The bank, sorry ma'am?
Go ahead, go ahead. Which bank?
The bank is GTB, Guarantee Trust Bank.
14th transaction.
The 14th transaction is, beneficiary name is Venerable LLP, Escrow, ACCT.
Okay, amount?
The amount is 125,000 United States dollars. The bank is PNC Bank. Then I have both the bank information handed over to me to do the transaction.
What was the purpose?
The purpose of this transfer I could not say because he gave me the money with the account detail to have the money sent to this, but the beneficiary, the receiver's name is Venerable LLP.
Thank you. 15th?
The 15th is, once again, the beneficiary's name is Opera, O-P-E-R-A.
Okay. Where?
The amount involved is 63,000 euro.
Okay, which country and account?
I think the account is Société Générale Paris, France.
Paris.
Yes.
Date and
The date is, let me see, the date, I'm sorry. 05/02/2015.
What was the purpose?
This one, the purpose is not stated, and I could not, I didn't have any idea about the purpose of this one.
Do you have any idea who the beneficiary is?
The benefit, I don't have any idea about the benefits. The details must have been given to me, but the beneficiary's name I'm saying is Opera, O-P-E-R-A.
Right. 16 transactions.
Yeah, I think altogether the ones I have the receipt correctly is 16. Then the remaining ones are all quotations, but they were sent directly to me from the
Quotations.
the quotation. So I counted it as the transaction ID. But they are quotations. I found out they are quotations. They were sent to me directly from Global Acquisitions with the picture and specimens of the flight. Then most of the time when it's sent to me, I will print it, put it in a file, and give it to the president. You will have more than 3 quotations in one. Then he has to choose the one he can go with and give us the money for us to have it sent.
Right.
As I said, because most of the time when I'm going for this transaction, I'm going with an escort, security personnel, and most of these people are all, they are all secret agents. So some of them, they are attached to you, like in the sense of they are helping you whilst they are gathering information. So the reason why I was able to get some of this in my own personal email, because when we come down, at times I will use a trick to tell them, oh, let me quickly pick something at my office. I will quickly put it in my scanner, scan it, and the moment I scan it, it will be in my system. Upon arrival, then I will have it scanned to my inbox. That's why I have this. But most of the time, we are with close protection.
You cannot take copies. So basically, you're saying this represents only some of the cash transactions you have done for the ex-president.
Yes.
I'll just quickly ask you about GNPC.
Yes, ma'am.
Council.
Yes.
You have a long way to go now.
Yes.
How many more? Because it's 4:30.
All right. Because we've used up our time, can you be available again on Monday, Mr. Jarju?
On Monday, I have to look based on my schedule, because today I was supposed to be at work, but I spoke to my immediate supervisor, so he gave me the whole day off for me to have time to talk to you people. But despite the fact, I will still go back to my immediate supervisor. I will see if I could get a Monday, next week, Monday, another off day. Then I will communicate the information duly to Senior State Council.
Well, give us a date that is convenient. Do you have any day in the week when you have time off?
The day in the week I will have the time off, because most of the time our schedule comes out on Sundays. So today is a Thursday. I won't know unless if I talk to him.
Hello, sorry. I mean, we can compromise here. We'll have a break for 10 minutes and come back.
Very well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Jarju, don't go away. We are taking a 10-minute break.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, 10-minute break, and then we'll continue.
Thank you.
Every day, bibatabukide obuva n'obuddo abalemere kati mbaliisa omuddo dansolo mpalampalampa pampalampa rejo emu mpalampalampa pampalampa anti sikola bya anna edi nze nkikuba nina sikedi sina sikesi Nafuka muganda wo oyagalanga muganda wo mutansolo mpalampalampa pampalampa rejo emu mpalampalampa pampalampa anti sikola bya anna edi nze nkikuba nina sikedi sina sikedi mutansolo mpalampalampa pampalampa rejo emu mpalampalampa pampalampa anti sikola bya anna edi nze nkikuba nina sikedi sina sikedi dansolo mpalampalampa pampalampa rejo emu mpalampalampa pampalampa anti sikola bya anna edi nze nkikuba nina sikedi sina sikedi
I'm a Gambian. The boy on the line. I'm a Gambian kid. T-Town Pimage. I'm a Gambian kid. Hey. I exercise my right to see my future bright, and every day I keep the fight just to brighten light my path. You know hallelujah, but I'm guided by Allah. Protect me, lead me and save me from the infection of wahala. My intention is the bright motivation of this right nation. So everyone in motion, I sing for my nation. What a temptation, my own sensation. Babanjai, Gambia's own child, made it clean like a tile. I'm piled up like a file. So I struggle will go, will sona will buy. One day fucking you now, so mandu madao. Just keep it real, yo. I will never run, never. Uno musada, even if the whole world is watching me. Yeah, this is who I am. That's me. No matter where I go, I'm proud to say, so proud that I'm a Gambian. You see me hustling, you see me struggling. Every day I'm tumbling, grumbling, clinching and lightning for a sparkling future. The nation's hottest guest, lyrically mature in nature, celebrity of the future. Pop them bottles of team from the BIP. Some wishing they could be me. Them I'm too hot for TV. I'm the news of T-Town. I'm missed by everyone. Rappers sitting on Balahal money, fun and Kobinda, claiming to be pop stars, rock superstars. Don't even know the history of hip hop. They just whoop blast on the hop. Never change this bit for the hook. Let me throw wisdom to the niggas. Punchlines, the pumpkins, not sell things. I will never run, never. Uno musada, even if the whole world is watching me. Yeah, this is who I am. That's me. No matter where I go, I'm proud to say, so proud that I'm a Gambian. I wanna be the sickest in the world, the highest with the cars, not for the money, fame or the girls, but I just love music. It heals me sick and makes the mind tick. I'm like a doctor and my patients are hectic. The boy on the line, he sings and rap fine. I do freestyles, I don't have to write rhymes. Rappers singing since the tip of the 19oh shit, but still ain't shit, and not just saying sick. Rock artists with no hits, rapists damn my hit list. The beat ain't no matter guess what, but the technique, the swag, the skills, the flows, the words, the lyrics, and you. I'm proud to move the crowd and get Gambia loud. Gambia loud. Gambia loud. Gambia loud. I'm a Gambian kid. I'm Gambian kid. I would never run, never. Guma musaka even if you're home, always watching me. I make mama proud, so proud. I speak out loud, reach to the crowd, bringing content. Yeah, this is who I am. That's me. No matter where I go, I'm proud to say, so proud that I'm a Gambian. Made it to the top, you couldn't break this swag, don't try me. T-Town for the ballers, big up to Gambian people like very snowflakes. And the year I see you all. I'm out.
We all need a miracle, but we all got to live a fight. I believe in my miracle with every little thing above land and sea. We all need a miracle. Everything gonna be alright. I believe in my miracle, the purpose of life we are living. I was sitting in a lonely silent place, took a deep breath and think about this life we are living in. I am praying, oh Lord, hear my prayer. What could be this world without love? What would be this world without little mercy? I am praying, oh Lord, hear my silent place. Took a deep breath and think about this life we are living. I am praying, oh Lord, hear my prayer. Yes, we all need a miracle. I believe in my miracle with every little thing above land and sea. We all need a miracle. Everything gonna be alright. I believe in my miracle, the purpose of life we are living.
All right, Council, we resume.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Jarju, you're there?
Yes, Honorable Lead Counsel.
Mr. Jarju, we sent you some transactions relating to JNPC, the Gambia National Petroleum Company accounts.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear,
Yes.
ma'am.
There's a transaction. There are two transactions actually. The first one is for $2 million, signed for
Yes.
by the ex-president and Momodu Sabali.
Yes.
According to the evidence before this commission,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Sabali received part of these funds in cash, which he has said he did receive, amounting
Yes,
about
ma'am.
$650,000 and $150,000.
Yes.
And
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Nuhature received the balance also in cash.
Yes, ma'am.
But according to their evidence, is that, let me just ask you first, what do you know about this $2 million? Mr. Chairman, this is Exhibit BB63. Exhibit BB63. Do you know
I have to
anything about
relate
this
to the
$2 million?
document to refresh my memory, ma'am.
Do you know anything about this $2 million?
Yes, ma'am. That's what I'm saying. I have to relate to the document itself to refresh my memory.
Okay, you need to relate it to a document.
Yes, because I think this one, this particular transaction was sent to me this morning through Olima, State Council.
Okay.
It was sent via Skype, so that's what I'm trying. Sorry, WhatsApp. That's what I'm trying. What's the date, please, ma'am?
It's 14th August 2013. It was money received in cash by Momodu Sabali and Nuhature.
The ones I have here is 15th, I think 15th, no, this 16th January 2014 and 8th September 2014.
Now this one is the 2 million. According to these two gentlemen, were money handed over to the ex-president in your presence. Do you know anything about it, this 2 million?
Can you come again, ma'am?
According to Mr. Nuhature and Mr. Sabali, this $2 million, which was delivered by Skybank from JNPC
Skybank, yes.
account, was delivered to the President's Odlis in your presence. Would you
Yes,
recollect
I
any such
could remember
incident?
there was a day the Secretary General called, because my office and the Secretary General's office is right opposite each other. So he sent his orderly for me to go and answer to him. Upon arrival there, he told me that boss means the former president, sent them to receive some money at Skybank, I could remember. So the orderlies came down. I think the orderly that came to pick that particular money, I was there to witness, was one CPL, we call him LB. LB, yeah, but I forgot the actual name. It was in my present. I think that same LB is with the president currently at Equatorial Guinea.
Sorry, you said what happened in your presence?
I said I was there to witness the handing over because the orderlies came with the book, the choir book. Mr. Sabali handed them over the money. They signed. I was there. I witnessed it. It was right at his office, the Secretary General's office.
Who was present?
It was the gentleman, the orderly who came to pick the cars. That's LB. I'm used to his name as LB. Maybe it's Lamin something, but I'm used to the name as LB. So I was there, I was present, and Mr. Sabali was present, I think with Noah too. Yes.
Who kept the choir books that these orderlies were using? Was it you?
No, most of the time is the president who kept it. He will give it to them to bring it, and most of the time, when they are going, they leave with the choir book.
They give him
but
the
I
choir
could
book?
Yes, I could remember it's a big choir book, green ones.
Okay. There is a specific transaction signed by the ex-president and Dr. Khalidou Bayo.
Yes, ma'am.
15 December 2014. Did you sign as having received this amount from JNPC account?
15th what?
December 2014.
15th December 2014.
JNPC, Gambia National Petroleum.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. 16th, no, I have 15th December 2014, the amount is 200,000 United States dollars.
You received it?
Yes, I received this money.
16 January 2014, from Access Bank, GNPC account.
I'm not sure of this one. My memory could not serve me on this one. I'm not sure about that one.
Instruction says the amount should be remitted to Mr. Sanna Jarju, Chief of Protocol at the Office of the President.
Yes, then I must have received it, but I honestly didn't have a clue of this, but I must have received it if my name is the one there.
You can't remember going over to Access Bank to receive $100,000? When Dr. Khalidou Bayo was Secretary General?
Khalidou Bayo was Secretary General. I'm trying. It's possible, ma'am, because most of the banks we deal with guarantee trust bank and trust bank. So maybe something that happened once. So I know the transaction took place. My name is there, but I could not recall the basis of how it happened.
Would you check your records? If you can remember, kindly let us know.
Yes.
We don't have the supporting documents, but we do have the request for the withdrawal of the sum, and it was withdrawn.
Absolutely.
We'll move on to the Ministry of Petroleum Special Services account.
Yes, ma'am.
You know Mrs. Sirawali Ndao Njai?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us about Mrs. Sirawali Ndao Njai with regard to financial transactions?
Mrs. Sirawali Ndao, I think, was the former Minister of Petroleum. I could remember in several occasions the President will ask me to liaise with Sirawali Ndao. She is to deliver something for him. That was the first time he was telling me. So upon Sira's arrival, it happens to be, Sira herself told me it was money. It was requested by the former president. I could still remember it was in a, I think, big gift bag, which was given to me, and it was I handed it over to the former president.
Significant sums of money were withdrawn from the Ministry of Petroleum Special Services account.
Yes, ma'am.
At Skybank.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, at GT Bank.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to draw your attention to some transactions
Yes, ma'am.
where, according to Sarah Walindau, she was away from the country and that you
Yes,
had
ma'am.
received the funds.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recollect those transactions?
Yes, I remember there was a time Sarah Walinda was out of town. I think she was in China.
Yes.
Yes, I could remember there was a time Sarah Walinda was in China. She was out of town. So the president asked me to call Sarah that she needs some money from the account. Then I tried reaching Sarah. Luckily, Sarah was roaming then. She answered. She told me that I'm currently in China. Then from China, I'll be going to Dubai. I'm not in the country, but what I'm going to do, I will try the managing director of Guarantee Trust Bank, that is Mr. Bolaji. Then I will make the necessary transaction for you to go and pick the cars, have it delivered to His Excellency. Then when I come, we will complete the I will complete the paper transaction with His Excellency. I remember that.
Do you recollect the amount?
The amount, I didn't recall the exact amount, but I know it took place. I'm the very person who went, that particular payment, I received it at Guarantee Trust Bank at Kairaba Avenue.
So what happened when she came back with regard to the transaction itself?
You mean for the paper transaction?
Yes.
Yeah, because when Sarah came back, I think on several occasions, she requested through me to meet the president. So there was a time I told the president, the Honorable Minister of Petroleum is in town, she is back, she is requesting to see you in audience. She said I should ask, the first response she gave me that she should see the Secretary General. So when I called Sarah to inform her that His Excellency asked me to inform you to see the Secretary General, she said, yes, I can see the Secretary General to brief him about my trip, but the reason why I wanted to see him for us to complete the paper transaction of the funds you receive, the funds I told you to go and receive while I was away through Bolaji. So I went back to His Excellency. I informed him. So he said, okay, I will tell him later, I will see him. So I called Sarah and informed me. So it went to an extent, at times you will tell him that Sarah wants to come so that these transactions will be, you will sign, you guys will complete this paper transaction, but he will be very mad at me. So to an extent, I even told Sarah, I tried my best. So the only alternative we are going to do, anytime you people are called in for a program here at the Cabinet House, the cabinet room, when you are coming, come with the paper transaction. If you see him face to face, capitalize to him, because I tried my best at times, he will say no. So I could remember those pull and push also happened between me and him.
So basically he would not complete the transaction.
Yeah, because most of the time, ma'am, with clear honesty, most of the time, he won't want to complete the transaction by signing the authority. Even the reason why I got him sign most of this authority, I have to make a follow-up. Most of the time when we pick these cars, the bank will be on my head because they will need something to prove. At times, you will be lucky. You will be lucky. At times, you will come, he will be very mad at you, send you out of his office. But most of the time, I could also wait and read from his face. If he is in a good mood, I will at times succeed and have him sign the authority and give it back to whosoever. But most of the time it's very difficult.
Mr. Jarju,
yes, ma'am.
This leaves us a little bit perplexed. This is according to your evidence. The ex-president would ask people to withdraw money and give it to him. What you're saying is he then would not want to regularize these transactions?
Not the one with Central Bank. I'm particularly referring to the one with Sira this time, Sirawal.
Yes.
That's what I'm referring to.
He was reluctant to sign off the forms and hand them over to Sirawali.
Yeah, because Sira tried on several occasions.
Why?
Through me.
Why was he reluctant to sign off on this transaction?
His reason best known to him, but I think before, obviously along the line, I left the office, so I don't know, maybe it was signed, but I know when I was there, I tried. But he will tell me, okay, tell him to come later or today, because most of the time when Sira is coming, she comes with the documents by herself. The documents were not handed over to me. She requests the audience through me to inform His Excellency so that he will come with the documents for them to regularize it.
Okay, because we are talking about significance of money, $500,000, $348,000, $152,000. These are all transactions, and a second $500,000 as well. These are all transactions which, according to Sirawalindao, are transactions you are aware of and which the President would not sign for, including another transaction of €462,500.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, okay. Tell us about these monies which you arranged while Sirawali was absent. What were the monies meant for?
Absolutely, this money I cannot say exactly is meant for what, because most of the time, the only time he will request money when the First Lady is about to travel, and we need to prepare our flights on ground to uplift the First Lady and the delegation. Or if our flights are not in good condition to fly, GIA will advise because they are due for maintenance. So most of the time you will charter aircrafts.
All right, you have said
for the delegates.
You traveled with the President. You traveled
with
the President as Chief of Protocol.
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us what countries you went to with the President?
We've been to numerous countries. I've been with him to Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, Mauritania, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, South Africa, Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, Morocco, Egypt, Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, France, and United States of America.
Let's just talk about some of those countries. When you traveled to Morocco with the President, where did you stay?
Most of the time we stayed in a hotel.
Was there any exception to this?
Yes, ma'am, come again?
Was there any time when you did not stay in a hotel?
No, all the trip I made to Morocco, we stayed in a hotel.
See, when you say most of the time, it means there are exceptions. So you're saying all the time you traveled with him to Morocco, you stayed in a hotel?
There is no exception. All the trips to Morocco, we stayed in a hotel.
Are you aware of a project the President or the First Lady had in Morocco?
Not to my knowledge, ma'am. Because most of those projects will not be handled by us. It will be handled by her personal assistant. They will keep us away from her. I wouldn't know.
Did the President have a personal assistant?
The President did not have a personal assistant, you can say this is unless the office staffs at the office of the President he used, but most of these transactions, if it is project or anything, you wouldn't know. It will be handled by the First Lady.
Will be handled by?
The First Lady or the personal assistant, because I could remember there was a time we went to Washington, I traveled with him on, I think twice, when her protocol was on maternity leave. When we get to the hotel in France, I could remember the Hotel Plaza Antenne. She asked me to retire. I can be relaxing. So whatever things he needs is done by the personal assistant, Lala Mariam Al Idris.
This was in France, Paris.
Yeah, this was in France when I went with him with her in France. So.
Where did you stay in France?
We stayed at Hotel Plaza Antane, yes, in Champs-Élysées.
Did you stay anywhere else in France apart from hotels?
No, we stayed only at the hotel.
What did you do in France when you traveled with the president?
When we went on this trip to France to the president, I think it was a medical checkup.
Okay. Did he have any other business as far as you know in France?
I didn't know, ma'am.
You traveled with him, you said, to United States?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's well known that he has a Potomac property. Did you stay there?
I didn't stay. When we arrived, I think I've been to that property only once. When we went for the U.S. African Leader Summit, then from there we went to the residence, but we didn't stay. They took us, we stayed in a nearby hotel. It's only the first family that stayed there. So I've only been there once on the instruction. I think he wanted to send me, so I went, but I didn't have even access inside the building. I spoke to them through the intercom at the securities. He gave me the instructions, then I worked on them, but I've never stayed there personally. I stayed in a nearby hotel.
Are you aware of any other property owned by the president?
No.
Outside the Gambia?
No, I didn't.
In Qatar?
In Qatar, I didn't. Most of this stuff, yeah, I don't think so. He may involve. I'm not aware. I didn't.
Dubai?
Dubai, no, ma'am. We've been to Dubai, but we stayed in a hotel. We've not been to any property.
Guinea Conakry?
I've been to Guinea. I've not been to Guinea Conakry with him.
Okay. According to your evidence, substantial sums of cash were given to the First Lady. What did he do with this cash? Did she do with this cash?
Who, the First Lady?
Yes.
You wouldn't know, ma'am. He wouldn't tell you is for what purpose. He will just be giving directive for you to send money to him, to her, but you wouldn't know. But even when you are on an official trip with the First Lady, when she is going out for her appointments, most of the time I'm left at the hotel. She will go with her personal assistant, that's Lala Mariam Al Idris. So you will have limited knowledge about it.
What were the arrangements when the president traveled in respect of money? He carried cash, did he not?
I don't know, because when we are going on this, it's a separate array. If he carries cash, I wouldn't know the amount or he carries cash. But in certain instances, when we go like places like France and United States, you have a lot of Gambians. So upon our arrival, the D-Day, the Gambians will come out to welcome him. So at times they will request for meetings with him. At the meetings, he will pledge to give them something for the Gambian community. In numerous occasions, he will give us money, me and ambassador. He will call us to his residence, the presidential suite he was. I think there was a time of about 200,000 United States dollars for me and ambassador to go and hand it over to the Gambian community. He does that a lot most of the time when we travel out of the Gambia.
So you're saying he carried cash, but you were not part of the arrangements?
Yeah, I don't know the amount he carried or whether he carried out, but I do know when we travel, he give me cash to liaise with the ambassador of that particular country to give it to the Gambian community.
Do you handle his per diem arrangements?
No, his per diem is handled by him.
Who handles the per diem arrangements?
The per diem arrangement is handled by most of the PS1 and the Secretary General. So when they will do the transaction, they just, accounts will only call us when the cash is available. And everybody will have to pick individually. You have to sign by your name. So his per diem most of the time is given to me with the book. I will take it to him. He will sign. I will give him his per diem. I never hold his per diem. It's always with him.
Did you deal with, were you present at any time when he gave people other than Gambians cash, foreign exchange, dollars, any other currency?
Yes, the one I am aware, I can see, there is this one also he gave in my presence to this Senegalese Rasula. He came to Gambia. I think that he had a wrestling context with Balage and Omosen. Yeah, something like that. Omosen.
Can you repeat the name?
Omosen, something like that. Omosen, he's a wrestler, a Senegalese wrestler.
Okay.
Yeah, because he handed over, but I didn't know the specific amount, but it was in an envelope.
Okay.
So it was handed in my presence to him.
Now, Mr. Jarju, you were at least a chief of protocol for some 4 years?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were close to the president. Could
Yes,
you tell
ma'am.
us about other people who were close to him apart from yourself?
Can you come again, ma'am?
Could you
I'm sorry.
tell this commission about people who were close to the president during the time you were chief of protocol?
Can I understand closeness in the sense of what?
Who were associated with him, whether personally or for business purposes or for any other purpose, but they frequented the office of the president or were in constant touch with him, as far as you know?
I wouldn't know, because most of the time people do request for audiences and meetings. So as part of my daily routine, most of the times when he have those meetings and those people are around, it's my responsibility to receive them through myself, or at times assign my protocol officers to receive them. And they will be waiting at our VIP waiting lounge. Then I will go upstairs and inform the president himself, so and so is around for your meeting or the audience. Then he will tell me, okay, bring them in. I will just announce them and get them in and retire from the office. I can only show up when I'm needed.
So what do you mean by you wouldn't know? You met these people. You've just explained that people who came to see him were people who you would escort, so to speak, to him?
Yes, people have been
so
coming
tell us
and
about
go.
the
I
people
could remember
who
some
most
people.
frequented. Yes? You were
I
saying
could remember some people who,
Yes.
who will be having meeting with him, but I wouldn't know the basics of the meeting because I'm never present. But most of the time, I escort them in. I announce them in and I took them in. Show them where they will sit and then retire.
Yes, tell us about the people you would consider to be closely associated to him.
I would say people that do come for these audiences and meeting most of the time is, I think, Muhammad Bazi. Yes, Muhammad Bazi. And one Ambassador Nicolas Buzainu. At one time, he used to be our ambassador at United Arab Emirates, Dubai. Amadou Samba. And the First Lady's brother at times will come, Abubakar Suma. And Tibu Kamara. I think Tibu is married to First Lady's elder sister, Mariam Suma. Yes, I could remember those people, apart from the ministers.
Sorry. Council?
Yes.
I'm afraid it's time now to rise. I don't know whether you finish with this witness or whether you want to make another arrangement.
We will take another date,
Yes.
subject to him
Very
telling
well.
us what is possible. Mr. Jarju,
Yes, ma'am.
we would expect you to email today, please, those documents, those emails and documents that you referred to.
I will do that immediately.
These transactions, you promise you will send them to senior counsel's email.
I will do that right away after
Please,
from
thank you.
this
And,
testimony.
if you could tell us by Monday morning or what time would be convenient for us to have a final session.
Yes, by Monday, I will be able to have an idea. When I talk to my supervisor, then I will send a message and I will call Olimatu directly to tell him the available date.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you, you're most welcome.
Thank you. Well, we'll rise now and we'll be back on Monday, the 30th, at 10 o'clock.
Chromium Extra Bonanza.
Extra Bonanza.
20 major winners every 20th from February to July.
Chromium 2020. Recharge $100 credit or more to be one of the 20 lucky winners. Every month, 20 winners.
15 winners will get rice, sugar, and cooking oil. There will also be a winner for a refrigerator, win flat screen TV, win a generator, win a motorbike, or an iPhone 6.
Chromium Extra Bonanza. Draw starts 20th of every month. Live on GRTS and Paradise FM. Chromium 2020.
Terms and conditions apply.
Chromium. We are better together. Chromium Extra Bonanza.